tell us a story.
Yes, tell us a story.
Alrighty. It's cold, not freezing cold, but there's little ice balls dropping. I don't know if you can see it on the windshield or not, but it's a nasty, dreary day. But we're going to get it started. When my dad tells this story all the time when he was young, working contractor and such. He worked with this guy, German guy, Hans or Kruger something. I can't remember for sure what it was. But he said he had this dog. He was living out on this farm, and at the back of the porch, there was a little porch, and then the hill just sloped away and went way, way, way down into a gully about a quarter of a mile. And he had a little dog. He got a little dog. His wife always had cats, and he never liked the cats and stuff. So the cat stayed in the house. So he got him a dog to be with him on the outside and stuff. So he got a little dog. It was shepherd, German shepherd mix kind of, and it was just a little teeny puppy. And he had these tires off of an old, I think it was a Model A. They were 18 or 19 inch, the big, thick, heavy rubber tires and stuff. They were almost solid, but they were pneumatic, but they had the real thick wall and thick tread on them. And he used to take and roll the tire, get the dog to chase the tire, and the dog would chase the tire down over the hill, and as that hill would pick up speed, the dog would try and grab the tire, and as it would grab the tire, it would clamp into the tire, and that tire, with so much momentum, being so heavy and big and round, it would just take the dog and flip it. And the dog would yelp, but as soon as he would drag, try and drag that tire back up the hill, and he'd get that tire back up the hill, and the guy'd roll it down again. Well, by the time a year went by, that puppy wasn't little anymore. He was really big. And he said, my dad told me that the guy told him that he'd roll the tire down the hill, and the dog would get about halfway down the hill, and then that dog would clamp into that tire and stop it. And then he'd drag it back up, and then he started walking it back up, but it was hanging down. And he said as he got older and his jaws got stronger and his front legs got stronger and his neck got stronger, he'd stop that tire before it even got to going down the hill, grab it, clamp onto it, and pick it up flat like that. Instead of it hanging down, he'd pick it up flat like that out of his jaws and hold that tire, that 18, 19, 20-inch tire, would hold it flat like that in his jaws and come prancing back up the hill and lay it down for the guy to roll it again. Well, the guy always liked meat, the Germans, I have Dutch and German in me, so we like lots of meats and stuff. And he loved pork chops, and he would have his wife fix, a big array of pork chops, and he'd eat them. And then he'd take the bones, and he sat right in the kitchen by the door at the table, to where his foot could reach on the back of this door, and he'd flip the door open just a crack, and as he flip it open a crack, he'd toss the bones, the pork chop bones out, and that dog would be sitting right on the edge of the porch, and he would clamp down on him, and you'd hear a crunch, and he'd just go crunch, 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 crunch. Had massive jaws. He said that he chewed on that tire so much that he actually perforated holes through that tire all the way around. Ever since a puppy, raising a dog like that, he's going to get really, really strong. So he was sitting out there, and he said these cats, while he was eating, would wander around the bottom of the table, meowing and wrap around his legs and rub around his legs, and he hated it. He always hated it. And him and his wife would fight over the dogs and the cats and whatever. So the cat stayed inside, the dog had to stay outside. So he was eating those pork chops one day, and that dog was sitting out there, and he'd throw one out, and that dog would crunch, 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 crunch. He said that cat was wandering around by his legs. He reached down real slow and grabbed it by the nape of the neck and put his toe on that door and flipped it out that door, and it went crunch, and the dog stopped. And he laid it down. He grabbed that cat and he laid it down real slow, dead. Now, this isn't a funny story, unless you don't like kitties. But that's what my dad said he did. And I said, I can only imagine the ruckus that happened inside that house after that cat got crushed by the dog. But that poor dog felt so bad, he said he knew it was too late. He just knew, and he just laid it down real slow on the porch and just looked up. And I guess that guy giggled and laughed, and I don't think his wife thought it was very funny. So that's the sad story for today. I'm going to get through this sprinkling little freezy ball rain and get in there and do my work. See ya!
Story time is over!
Damn, that was annoying.